Hi and welcome to TOTECS, the platform for integrated e-commerce websites. The team here at TOTECS is proud to introduce the 11.5 release into the platform, offering 1 new feature, 18 improvements and 2 bug fixes. If you missed the 11.4 release video, we introduced into the TOTECS platform the ability to deploy fully featured, mobile responsive, secured, customizable, content managed websites right out of the TOTECS box, and we've called these master website designs. Over $500,000 of research and development went into the master website design, and TOTECS is offering these amazing featured websites to new and existing customers at a fraction of the cost. In the 11.5 release, we've now made available a second master website design, which contains a slightly different design with notification changes and other useful enhancements. If you're looking to upgrade your website, Master Website Design 2 gives you another option to choose from when deploying a new fully featured website out of the box. To learn more about the Master Website Design 2, you can skip to the time shown on the screen here. The 11.5 release offers 4 improvements to the order submission notification emails. These are the emails that customers and admins receive after an order has successfully been placed and submitted through a website hosted on the platform. These improvements include the ability for the order details file attached to the email to be saved as a PDF, allowing the order details to be viewed in the same way across any devices that can read a PDF file. Additionally, there's now the ability to completely customize how the order details are displayed within this email attachment, allowing for a tailored layout, theme, colors, and data to be set within the attachment. This can provide consistency in branding, as well as highlighting the important aspects of an order based on a business. The third improvement allows the order details to be embedded directly into the email's message. This can allow users to directly see all the submitted order details without even having to open up the attachment file if not required. The fourth improvement allows admins to resend an order submission notification email at any time, which can be helpful if an incorrect email address was set in the order, or the order details need to be reshared with selected people, such as sales reps, internal staff, or other customers. You can skip to the time shown on the screen here to learn more about these changes to the order submission notification emails. The 11.5 release brings a long-desired piece of functionality to the platform, and that is the ability to sort products in category and search listings based on price. Unlike simple retail websites, TOTECS allows complex pricing structures to be set up for products and customers, allowing for hundreds of prices to be set for each product based on price levels, quantity breaks, contracts, promotions, and special pricing. Because of this, it has made it difficult to search, price, then sort thousands of products on price in a very fast and dynamic way. This release changes all this, with TOTECS dev team being able to find a way to sort price in a highly efficient way that still allows for the complex product pricing structures to be factored in. Skip to the time shown on the screen to see more details about this. The 11.5 release brings a great improvement to the platform that allows content managed web pages to load much faster for users based on the platform being able to cache, also known as remember, the content of areas displayed in previously loaded web pages. When implemented correctly, this improvement may allow web pages to load up to 10 times faster for users as they navigate through your websites, allowing them to find more products faster, check out quicker, and submit orders sooner. Skip to the time shown on the screen to find out more about this great improvement. The 11.5 release adds new permissions into the platform that can control if selected users need to enter an organization name when setting delivery and billing address information at order checkout. These permissions can allow individual customers to not have to set the organization name when creating an order, but then force other business users to enter their business name when ordering, allowing for business-to-business or business-to-consumer workflows to work in the one content-managed website. Additionally, an 11.5 release adds the ability to show organization name and contact name information in delivery and billing addresses displayed in the details of invoices, sales orders, back orders, and credits loaded from connected accounting and business systems using the account enquiry feature. Skip to the time shown on the screen to see more information about this. The 11.5 release brings 2 new useful improvements to the product quick add area on content managed web pages to allow users to choose the field to find products by in the product quick add search form. This can allow users to quickly find products based on data such as barcodes, names, descriptions, or even categories. Additionally, the area has been modified to support sales reps, allowing them to quickly find and discount products before adding them to basket. The area can also show or hide different elements based on if the user is allowed to purchase the product loaded, as well as see stock availability, both stock levels or stock available quantities. Skip to the time shown on screen here to learn more about this. The 11.5 release brings a number of small improvements, including the ability for users to sort contracts within the contracts listing content manager web page areas, the ability to set up product search profiles and have users find products based on matching data that has been set in a product's meta keywords field, as well as for product attribute search forms to only show attribute values based on being assigned to products that are active and not hidden, reducing the chances of users not being able to see products that they are searching for. As always, you can find more information about all the changes in the release notes, which can be found on the TOTECS Forums by going to totecs.com/forums.html and then clicking on the releases forum links to see the notes. To begin with, let's start to get into the depths of the Master Website Design 2 and the new features it brings to the table. In the 11.5 release, we've added a new feature that allows a fully featured content managed website to be deployed out of the TOTECS box, based on a second new Master Website Design. If you don't know what a Master Website Design is, it's a template website that the TOTECS team has built that contains all the features that the platform provides, all bundled up into a neat package to allow a new website to be quickly deployed and customizable to a business's brand. These websites allow businesses to quickly start selling products to customers and trading in their website. If you haven't watched the 11.4 release video, then we recommend you watch that video first, since it covers all the details and features that come bundled with a Master Website Design. Links to the video can be found in the description of this video. Continuing on, the TOTECS platform now offers the second Master Website Design, which when deployed looks like the example that we've got shown in the video here. The design and implementation of the Master Website Design 2 is similar to the Master Website Design 1, but with a few noticeable differences in the top sections of the page. First, the design contains a bar at the very top of the page that allows any text to be set, such as the main selling points of a business or any important information to capture the user first. The next bar below contains a logo of the business that allows users to navigate back to the home page, and it contains all the user account options which have been now right aligned. This takes up less space compared to Master Website Design 1. Next, there is a bar that contains all the social media icons for the business, as well as a top tier web page links that users can navigate to. The bar after that contains page links to different product flag pages, the basket summary showing how many products the users are added to basket, as well as the product search, allowing users to quickly find products using the autocomplete, as well as perform a full product search. The remainder of the web page contains all the same details as Master Website Design 1. This includes product category navigation menus, news banners, product flags, product deals, the latest news and blogs, a brand category tree navigation, an e-marketing sign-up form, as well as a footer bar containing the details of the business, as well as a sitemap, allowing users and search engines to crawl the website. All the colors and styling of these web pages can be customized to match a business's brand, so we could easily change the colors from TOTECS palette to a different palette by just modifying the SAS style files that come bundled with the website design. Here's an example of the same homepage just with some different colors set. One usability improvement we've added to the Master Website Design 2 is that when a user adds products to the basket, notifications are now raised in the top right hand corner of the web page, making it easier for users to keep adding products to basket without being interrupted as much. These notifications can stack, as well as be removed by the user, or become automatically hidden after a short period of time. And of course, the Master Website Design 2 is fully responsive, allowing the website to dynamically change itself to fit with any screen-sized device. To set up a website based on a Master Website Design 2, let's head to the Administration Center, where we can see how to do this. Within the Administration Center, if we click on the Websites menu button, then click on the Websites link, if we go down and click on the Create New Website button, this will show a dialog that allows a new website to be created. So if we call this website mwd2.demo.com, as shown in the 11.4 release video, it will automatically set up the URLs for users to be able to log in and set the page that users land on once they're logged in and logged out. And we're going to set an email address that will receive notifications. As well as that, there's a new option now to be able to preview master website designs. So if we click on the preview link, you can see two images showing how the different designs look. So Master Website Design 1 is here and Master Website Design 2 is there. If we close that and go back to the Create New Content Managed Website dialog, In the website design, there is now a second option called Master Website Design 2 that we can now select. After that, we just need to set the category trees, which will display the categories that display on the homepage of this new website, as well as set the page for brands. So we'll just choose one of these example category trees. Then we can choose a search profile, which users can then use in order to search for products using the autocomplete. And we can set the flagged products that are going to appear on the homepage. Once these options have been selected, you just need to create the create button. Then the website's interface will reload itself and add the new content managed website to the list of websites. Now, before this website can be operational, first the domain for this new website needs to be purchased, as well as a security certificate bought for that website to ensure that all the pages can load securely within the browser. As we can see here, all the web pages, just like Master Website Design 1, will be already deployed and implemented, and all the assets associated to the website have already been set up, as we can see here. Just like Master Website Design 1, it comes bundled with a Git repository, which contains a list of files that this website then relies upon. And these are broken up into folders. So we have folders for CSS, for fonts, for images, for JavaScript, and then for Sass files. And Sass files is the main way to change and control the colors and themes that the website uses. Two of these files contain the main location where we can change the colors of the website, which is settings.scss, as well as variables scss. So once our website is deployed, adding this Git repository to your local machine then allows us to modify these files and then make adjustments to the colors and themes. And if you want to learn more information about how to customize a Master Website Design content managed website, come talk to the TOTECS team where we can give you additional documentation and training on how to do this. Additionally, with our Master Website Design, we have web pages, e-marketing templates that are also bundled into the website, as well as the web page templates, and then all the formats for the areas display on the web pages have also been created for the Master Website Design 2. And these formats are named MWD2 Plus or MWD1 Plus formats that are also compatible with Master Website Design 2 formats. So that gives you a quick overview of Master Website Design 2. If you want to get set up, come talk to the TOTECS team and we can help you get new projects and Master Website Design 2 websites up and running for you. In the 11.5 TOTECS release, the TOTECS team has made a number of improvements to the order submission notification emails. These are the emails that get sent out when a user has successfully submitted an order that can be sent to their nominated email address, as well as administrators being able to receive an email notification as well. The first improvement we've made is the ability to save the order details that are attached to this confirmation notification email as a PDF file. So in our example site we have here, if I go through the order checkout submission process, click out on the checkout button, then after that I enter the details of my company that I want to get delivered and proceed through the order checkout process. We can see the details of the order there and confirm that, and then we hit the submit button. So once the submit button gets hit, an email notification will get sent out to the nominated email address as well as the administrator user. So we'll click on the submit button. Now the order has successfully been submitted. If we then go to the email notification, so in this case I've got Gmail open that can receive emails. So a new order has come through, as we can see here, and we can see now in the attachment file, if we open this up, this is now attached as a PDF file. So previously it was saved as an HTML file, which is a web page file. And the only problem with web page files is that different web browsers can show the order details in different ways, as well as that as email clients themselves will be inconsistent when viewing HTML web page files. So now that we've got a PDF format is standardized across the board, across all the email clients, since they all rely on PDF viewers, which view the order details in a consistent way. So as we can see here, the content of this file will remain consistent across any computers and devices that can read a PDF file. All projects and websites hosted on the TOTECS platform will now have the order contents as saved as a PDF file automatically. Now there is a setting that has been added to the administration center. So if we go to the admin center, if we then click on the stores menu button, then click on the order menu link under the settings, if we scroll down to the order notification email section, there's a new setting here which allows us to control if we want that attachment of the order details in the notification email to be saved as a PDF attachment, or as the older style, which was a HTML web page attachment file, or we can have it not saved at all by choosing the within email message. So there's two options for if we want to save the PDF file as an attachment. We can either save it as being converted from a HTML version 4 web page file, since that's what the content of the file is initially laid out as, or we can use HTML5, which is a newest stand of HTML. By default, HTML version 4 is used to be able to convert the web page file into a PDF attachment, and that is a strict format, whereas HTML5 is a little more flexible. So if we wanted to save that as a HTML attachment, we'd just change it to there, or we'd keep it as a PDF attachment, which is the recommended option from this point onwards. Now that leads us into the second improvement that we've added, is the ability to change the styling and content of the PDF file. So if we go back to the PDF file, you can see here that there's been a blue background set there, there's a label of the purchase orders, we've got the billing and delivery addresses, and then we've got each of the lines. Now we may want to alter and adjust the actual layout of this page to be completely different and use different colors and themes and branding based on our own business. So now there are settings within the administration center to be able to control this. If we go back to the admin center, there is a number of new settings that have been added, all under here, called order confirmation email attachment format, order detail format, the surcharges, the freight, order detail product format, product deals, product fields, as well as the product attachment format. So all these formats get used to build up the page that gets converted to a PDF file and then gets interpreted and turns out into this. So if we look at each of these formats, the first format we have is the order confirmation email attachment format. So this contains the HTML markup or the code that sits behind to be able to generate the overall document that appears in that attachment. So as you can see here, it's using HTML4 strict HTML markup out of the box, and then it has one hook that says we want to put all the order detail content within that. The main format that is used in the layout is this thing called the order confirmation email order detail format. So if we open that up, we can see all the details and all the labeling within this code of how that PDF file is laid out. So that bill to text that appeared in the confirmation email PDF attachment here has come from this code that is set there. So if we want to change the label from bill to instead to invoice to, all we need to do is change this text that displays there. Then we click on the set button. Then after that, we scroll to the bottom of the page and click on the save button to save that setting change. Now, next time an order is being submitted, the label of bill to will now change to invoice to. So once another order has been created, if we then look at the order confirmation attachment, we can see now that the text bill to has now been changed to invoice to. So this is just one example on how we can change the labeling within the order confirmation email attachment. Now we can do a lot more than just change labels. We can change colors and styles within this just by changing the HTML markup. If we go back to this page, we could change the invoice to, or the billing address, to be on the other side or the opposite side of the deliver to address. So we can change where the content is laid out. So if we go back here and find that section, we can remove this cell and we can plonk it after the delivery to information. Again, we'll save that setting. And then if we go back and view the next submitted email, we can see now that the invoice to, or the billing address, is now on the right hand side of the delivery address, which is now on the left hand side. So we can completely alter and adjust the whole structure of this PDF attachment that contains all the details of the order to match whatever the brand, themes and styling that the business running this website wants to do with it. So we could make this order details file, we can give it the same formatting, such as the invoices that are coming out of our accounting system to match the branding and themes of that business. Now, if we go back to these settings, we can see that there's a number of other formats. So there's a format to control the surcharges that display in the order. There's also formats to contain the freight information. So if we had freight information for the order, there's this hook can control how the freight carrier service or consignment number is displayed within the order. as well as for each of the product lines, we can control the formatting of that. So this controls what information about each product we want to display, such as in this case, it's showing the product code, the product name, the unit quantity, the unit price, as well as the total price. So we could easily eliminate the unit price or the quantities from displaying if we didn't want to. We could also embed a product image that display on a column here as well. So that is all possible within this format. And as you can see, there's hooks also to the other formats for each product line, and that's to deal with displaying deals, because deals themselves can be added to each product line, as well as other product basket fields, such as users entering comments, so we can format them, as well as attachments. So if there's any file attachments associated with each product ordered, we can also format them. So that's what all these other formats do. Is all around the products, so we can modify deals, and there's hooks available, so we can put in deal information. Same with attachments, we can put in different links that allow the user to download files, as well as the product basket fields to be able to set labels and fields. So all these formats get combined together to create the one order detail file that has all the customized layouts that you want to put into it. So it does require you to have some HTML skills in order to be able to then set out the web page that gets generated for the order detail file. And then that once, if you've got the PDF setting turned on, then that HTML file will get converted to a PDF. Now there are some tools in order to help us out while we're setting this up. So if we go back into the order admin center interface, we can now click on the order number to view the order details. So when we view the order details, there's now a button at the bottom, and this is another improvement we've made, is to be able to show the order format as it would appear in that confirmation email. So this allows admins to modify the settings within the settings interface here, make a change, and then view it here. So we could change the label from purchase order. So that setting comes from here. So we can change that setting to purchase orders, click the save button, and then if we go back to the order details, then we can reload that, and now we can see the label updated. So we can make all of our changes here, test it all out. Order submission confirmation email, it will show the latest changes we've made here. So this allows admin and implementers to quickly make changes to the way this layout is set in a nice, convenient way. The other improvement we've added, also to help in this process, is if we're back in the orders list, for each order, there is now an email button that allows an order to be resent to any nominated email addresses. So if we click on the email button, you can see that the send order email confirmation dialog has the email address of the email that was previously set by the user who submitted the email. But we could change that, or we could append and resend this email to multiple email addresses. So we could have Sam, and then both John and Sam at these example email addresses can then receive an email after clicking the send email. Now note that each of these people would not know that the other person had received the email, since they will be set in the CC or the carbon copy field of an email address. But because of that, in order to allow that to happen, the email will also be sent to the ordering email address configured for the project. So it's simple as click the send email button, and then the email will be sent to the nominated people within the email address here. And this allows admins and implementers also to keep resending the emails and then being able to view the order details attachment as well while they make changes to it. The next improvement we've added to the order submission confirmation notification email is the ability to embed the details of the order within the email message itself. So here's an example where we've had the order confirmation email be sent to an email address, in this case in Gmail, and we can see that we then have all the overall details of the order as well as the delivery details. But now there is ability within this message itself to also display the details of the order. So to do that, if we go back into the admin center, if we go back into the order settings interface, within the order confirmation email message format, so this is the format which controls all the content that displays within the text that displays within the email message. If we go into that, there's now a hook that is being added available here called the order detail content. So we now can embed the order detail content that was previously saved in the PDF attachment that can be instead placed directly into the email message. That allows us to display the order lines if we wanted to, as well as other information about the order that is not available previously in the message here. So if we go back to here, we can add this hook, and so let's just we'll place it into here, the order detail content, And then once we've changed that, now we may not want to put in all the information about the order, so we may want to limit it down. So we might need to change these formats. So maybe we just want to get the order lines out. So I've changed the format of the order detail to only produce now the order lines in a table. So that's what all this code, HTML code here is now doing, and the rest has been commented out. Now if we save those settings, now if we go back into the orders interface, we can then resend that order that we previously received a notification for. Now if we go back into Gmail and click on that order, we can now see here's the contents of the order, but we can see now how it is embedded each of the order lines within the order itself. Now this doesn't look particularly user-friendly, so we would have to spend more time just adding some more styling, so that way, such as putting a line under the headings, or we could even reduce the amount of information, such as removing the pricing or the descriptions if they're not needed and changing them to the product names, or we can even put in product images that display within the email itself. So this gives you just one example of how you can then modify the details of the order submission confirmation email notification to be able to then provide more information to the user, and then potentially you can eliminate the PDF file or any attachment if you don't need it as well. But there is that ability to there. Now you can see within the PDF file, the same content that goes in that format also goes into the PDF file. So you can see that we've now eliminated all the rest of the order information, which may not be that useful. So typically you're either going to use one or the other. You're either going to put all the detail of the order within the message format, or you're going to put all the content within the attachment file here. We can eliminate that PDF from being attached to the order confirmation email notification completely. If we were back in the settings here, we could then change this setting here, order details set as setting, back to within email message. So that gives you an overview of the 4 improvements we've made to the order confirmation email notification that allows you to customize and give lots of flexibility on how these email notifications look and appear, and the content that displays within them as well. Next improvement we've added to the TOTECS platform in the 11.5 release is the ability to sort products based on price within the category listings as well as search results listings areas for products. On our example Master Website Design 2 website here, if we just go to a category, if we then scroll through here, we can see that the products currently are sorted based on the default option set up for that project. So that may be any of these fields, and you can see that they're not sorted by pricing, they could be sorted by name. So the new improvement we've added is within the sort drop down is to now be able to choose price as an option. So now that we can see the pricing is now ordered from lowest to highest or ascending fashion. So we can see that the cheapest prices are now displaying first, and it slowly increments from there. So this is a great usability improvement to allow users, especially retail users, who are looking for products, the cheapest products, to be able to easily find those products. So it's within this category listings as well as in search listings. So if we, for example, we chose to search by Aspire in the product search, then on the product search page, we also have the option to choose to search by price. Now, in this case, for the search area has been set to search descending as opposed to ascending from highest price products to the lowest price products. To set up sorting by price, there's a couple of things that we can do within the administration center. If we click on the store's menu button and then go down to product search, there is a setting here called product sort field, and this is the default field that products will be sorted by within product searches. And then there's now an option to be able to sort by price as the default option. So if in search profiles, in search areas, no sorting field option has been set, then the platform will rely upon this setting in order to control what products are sorted by default. Now we can also set up search profiles. So if we go into the inventory menu and click on search profiles, each search profile which controls which products can be found by doing a search, so that is such as typing in a value within the search box here, is controlled by a search profile. So within the search profiles, for each of them, we can also say which field should products be sorted on first. So we can see that currently the search profile that we would have used within this product search was sorting by codes that start with Z to A in a descending fashion. So we could have changed that now to now sort on price by default and then make it ascending from cheapest to most expensive. So if we clicked on that save button, then regenerated the search profiles, when we search for the same products again, we can see now that the products are now sorted from lowest to hires. So the search results displayed in this area is controlled by the search profile configured to the search form area here that is associated to these search profiles. Now for the category listing areas, if we go into the inventory menu again and go down to the category settings, there is a setting called category product sort field, and now there is the option to sort products that display in category listings by price. So if we click that and save that setting, that is the default option that will be set when users navigate through categories and see the products listed under a given category. So if you are a retailer or you think that your users, the most popular way for them to search is based on price, then you may want to adjust these settings to be able to match that of what they're looking for. The next improvement we've added to the 11.5 release in the TOTECS platform is the ability for content managed web pages to be able to load faster based on being able to cache or remember content previously loaded on a web page. So for every content managed web page that displays in the platform, there is a number of areas that make up a page. So if we look at the example here, we have areas to display the basket summary, we have an area to display the product search, we have areas to display the categories, as well as the category menus, and then we have areas to display the news. So each of these different areas will make requests to the backend database servers in the TOTECS platform in order to obtain that data. Now some areas require more processing time in order to get the data out of the database, such as product listing areas, since it requires more complex processing to get all the different elements out in order to be able to correctly price products. So the new feature we've added to the platform is once a page loads, we can pick and choose which areas it should remember for the user logged in. So that way, the next time it has to load that area, it can just get it from the memory of the TOTECS platform servers, as opposed to having to make backend requests to the database, which can be slower and more time consuming. If we go into the backend of this homepage, within the administration center, if we click on websites and click on the websites menu option, and we then open up the web pages for that content managed website, if we click on any page, and go to view all areas. For each area, if we click on the blue dot and bring up its area options, there's a new option that has been added called is cacheable. So that means, do we want this area to be remembered and then loaded and stored in cache, so that way when the user next loads the page, it gets it from that stored memory, as opposed to having to dynamically update and get its content from the backend databases. So we have made a number of these areas cacheable, and that means when the user next loads the page is going to load a lot faster because there's less processing time done on the servers. So this cacheable option can reduce the page loads up to 10 times depending on the kind of data that is displayed in the areas. What this means though, for all the areas that are cached, then these pages are going to load faster for that user. Now this caching is done on a user session. So when you first go to a site, a session is automatically created for a guest user. When you then log in as a specific or a chosen user, such as we are as a retail here, then a new session has been created. For as long as the user is logged in, they are using the same session, and the session allows them to remember the products that they've got in basket and other details about them. When the user logs in, if we cache, for example, this category navigation area, then it means we don't have to go back to the database server and keep trying to find the categories that exist in the project. We can just get that data from the memory. And that is allowing these pages to load very fast. Now, we shouldn't turn the is cacheable option for all areas, because some areas should not be remembered and they should dynamically change between page requests. So one such example of that would be the basket summary area. We don't always want to show $3.55 and the one product that has been added to basket. This needs to change based on the user adding multiple products to basket. So if we find that area back on this page, and that area is called Global ML Basket, you can see that the area is set to not cacheable. So when we reload this page, the price should dynamically change based on what products are in the basket. However, if we did make this area cacheable, loading the page again, and then adding a product to basket, you'll see that if we then load this page again, the contents previously saved to the cache for the user would be still at $10. So it's showing the incorrect basket total based on the previous time that area was cached when the page was previously loaded. So this is one example of an area that is not good to cache. So any areas where the content changes between web page loads, that area should not be cached. So if we take an example, the basket summary is a good example. as well as on the shopping list, the baskets listing area to not be cacheable. So that way the users can always see what is the current state of their basket, not based on any previously saved state of that area. So the recommendation is any areas that dynamically change, including order checkout areas, basket listing areas, search results listing areas, category listing areas, and account inquiry areas are not good candidates for cacheable areas. All other areas can be cached to allow faster web page loads. It's important to go through the areas on a page, such as these global areas. Now, there may be times when you're setting up the page where you want to be able to change the content but leave these cacheable settings on. So if we just take an example. So if we look in our page, we have this top bar that we're calling a ribbon that contains these different pieces of text. We may want to cache this area to be able to allow it to load very fast on the page. But we may, as an implementer or an admin user, we may want to change this text without changing the cacheable state of that area. So if we were working on that, here's the area and it's currently set to cacheable, we may want to change the label integrated to connected. So if we change the area and click the save button, because the area is previously cacheable, when we next reload the page, the text integrated still displays, and that's not what we wanted. And it's because this area is being remembered in the user session. There's an option where we can force the page to reload itself and not use the cacheable options of the platform. So in the URL, if we put in a special parameter, and a parameter comes after the HTML file extension, if we put in a question mark to denote that we want to then put in parameters, and we paste in this parameter called ignore_area_caching, and that is equal to a value set to y, when we refresh the page, you can now see that the label connected, and that's the label that we set up within the area, is now correctly showing on the page. And because this area has been told to not use the caching, to not use the remembered data of that area that was previously loaded for that user, it is now being able to load just like if the caching option was not turned on for that area, such as here. So this is a great way for implementers to be able to always see the content and the changes they're making to the websites without actually having to modify the cacheable settings for the other users that are currently using that site. Now, if we remove that parameter, and then we reload the page again, you can see that the label integrated has come back again, even though the setting for that area is still set to connected. And that's because it is then once again retrieve this area from the cache on the page. So the only way for us as a user to be able to then get the updated content is to then log out of this page or create a new session for the user, so to log out and log in again, and then we'll be able to see the latest content that is set for that area. So we can now see, because we've logged out, the session from that user was then removed and a new session, a guest user session, has been created. And the first time the page is loaded, it has then gone and rendered the content of this area and saved it in the cache. So this would be the new cache content for this area that will be saved between requests. So the important thing to note is this caching. The caching only really works after the first time a session has been created on a page and that area has been saved to this memory in the TOTECS platform that can then be retrieved for subsequent web page requests, allowing the pages to load faster. So users, as they navigate the site, they're going to see a noticeable speed increase as they continue to use the site and explore your website. Now, this cacheable settings is not turned on for well-known search engines. So a number of search engines, such as Google, Bing, and all the other known search engines to the TOTECS platform, will not be able to use this cacheable feature, since they create new sessions for every time they crawl your site. So this setting is not going to help them. It's only going to help users, legitimate, real users who are logging in or who are navigating your site with guest sessions and using the same session over multiple web page requests. If you need any more help and advice on how to set up caching and how to get your web pages loading faster, come talk to the service team or put up a post on the TOTECS Forums and we can help you guide you through that. The next improvement we've added into the TOTECS platform in the 11.5 platform release is the ability to have permissions that control whether or not users need to enter the organization name at the time they go through the order checkout process or when they create new delivery addresses. So if we go to the basket page and then proceeds through the order checkout, at the time the user wants to create a new delivery address, we can control with permissions whether or not that user is forced to enter the company name or organization name of the delivery address or not through user permission. So we can tailor this to different users based on if they are a retail or an individual person, or if they are business ordering through the platform. So if we look in the administration center and go into the users and go into user permissions, if we find the user that we're currently logged in as, and we modify the facility role, 2 new permissions have been added called billing address organization name not mandatory and delivery address organization not mandatory. So based on the users assigned to this facility role, if this option is set to deny, then the user is forced to enter the organization name or company name when they go through the order checkout process or create delivery addresses. If it's set to allow, then they don't have to. So currently we got this set to deny. So when the user is creating a new address, and let's just call it delivery address, and they enter the details, if in this case they left that field, the company name field, empty, and then decided to put in the rest of the details, when they try to click the save button, a dialog will now tell them that they must enter organization name. So the user is forced to enter the company name based on that permission, based on the facility role and that permission that they're assigned to for this delivery address. So once they enter that details, then the address will then able to be saved and then used. So if we had have changed this setting to set to allow, updated the facility role, now, the next time the user creates a session and logs in, so we'll just need to log out in order for that permission change to come into effect for that user. When they next go through the order checkout process and want to create a new delivery address, now because the facility role that they're assigned to allows them to not have to set the company name, when they click the save button now, the address will happily save. It is recommended that this facility role, you want to force businesses and the users ordering on behalf of businesses, then you're going to want to set these permissions to deny. Otherwise, if it's for normal retail users who could be individual users, then you could set that setting to allow to give the user the option of setting an organization name or not. Now, there's also the ability for the billing address, and this is only really relevant for if you are a guest user checking out. So if we go through the guest order checkout process, so we'll just log out as our retail user, we'll add a product to basket, and because we've got guest checkout turned on, when we go through the order checkout process, the user will have the option, both the delivery and the billing addresses. So if they untick this box to use the delivery address as the billing address, they would also have to set the details, and so one of the fields could be organization name. And since the user is a guest user, if we find the guest user in the order permissions and find the facility role assigned to them, we can also configure and control if the user should be forced to set the organization name or if they don't have to. So that means that if they didn't set the field here in the organization name and that permission was set to deny again, then they wouldn't be able to continue with the order checkout process. So in effect, it would stop individual people from being able to buy when they haven't, as guest users, on behalf of an organization or not. So typically, you're gonna set these different permissions, and you're gonna set different facility roles based on which ways your users are allowed to or not allowed to buy. Now, in the registration process, you may want businesses to be able to be assigned to a different facility role to the facility role that individual people are assigned to, so that way you can customize and tailor these settings for each of them. Now, as well as within the order checkout, the delivery address, organization name field, that permission is also controlled when the user is updating their delivery addresses. So if we log in as our example retail user again, and we go into the My Details section and scroll down to the delivery billing addresses, that permission also controls if they're allowed to set the organization name within when updating or adding a delivery address here. So this feature can be used to enforce businesses to enter their organization name, making sure that deliveries can be sent to the correct business and be well recognized by the carriers who are delivering the ordered goods. This leads into the next improvement we've added to the platform, is the ability to display in the account inquiry feature. So if we click on the My Account in the Master Website Design 2, in the account inquiry, when we look at invoices, sales orders, back orders, and credit records, there are now hooks to be able to display the organization name within the billing and delivery addresses. So there's hooks for both the billing organization name, as well as the organization name in the delivery address, as well as the contact name. So these two new hooks have been added for all these different kind of account records that have been retrieved live from the accounting system that these records are coming from. So in this case, we can see this again for sales orders, and the same happens for back orders as well as credits. So within the administration center, if we go into the websites interface and we go down to the web area format libraries, under the account inquiry section, if we go into the customer account invoice formats and go into that and view the format, the new hooks that have been added are called invoice delivery org name and invoice delivery contact, as well as invoice billing contact and invoice billing org name. So these hooks can be embedded anywhere within the format that controls how this area is displaying the details of this invoice. So we didn't have to put it necessarily with the company or organization name coming after the contact. We could easily position it on top of the contact name, or not even show the contact name at all if we didn't want to. So those hooks are available in the customer account invoice formats, as well as in the customer account credit formats, as well as the customer account sales order format, which is here, and the customer account back order format, which is available there. So these, once again, is more hooks to handle and to be able to show information which is relevant for when goods and services are being delivered or billed to organizations or individual people. The next improvement we've added to the 11.5 release is two new useful improvements to the product quick add form area that is displayed on content managed web pages. If we go to the basket page, you can see that we have a quick add form area here displayed, and there is now, one of the improvements is now to be able to display a drop down to allow the user to choose on which field they want to find products by. Now the options that are displayed in this drop down are configurable. So in this case, the user can search by product code, alternative code, name or category. So if we type in name and then we type in Aspire, we can see all the products that start with Aspire in the name. Then the user can easily add those products to basket and continue on the process. As well as that, the area now supports displaying the stock information about the product if the user has the ability to see that. So they can either see a stock level icon, or they can see the actual stock available quantity if they have permission to see that information. Additionally, they can click the product information button to see more information about that product. The area is smart enough to know that if a combination product can represent a number of products that are related to each other based on such as colors and sizes. So if we choose to load a combination product, then the area is smart enough to go, this is a product combination, that product itself cannot be added to basket, and the user is forced to then view the information about that product as well as choose from the options such as color and size before they can add that product to basket. The other improvement that's been added is if you're logged in as a sales rep and viewing this area, so we'll just do that now. If we then go back to the area and load in a product, you can see if the sales rep has permission, they can also see additional fields allowing them to discount the price. So they can see the price for this product was $21.47, but they may want to put a 50% discount on the price for 3 quantity and add it to basket like that. So it allows sales reps to quickly and easily add products to basket as well as provide any discounts that they need to at the time, and they can do it based on the price, the final price that would have been for that product, or they can do it based off the percentage of the price level price set for that product for the account that they're logged in as. So all these features make it easier and smarter and quicker for sales reps or normal users to be able to find the products they're looking for. Now, like I was talking about before, we have the options in this drop-down to allow users to control how they find products by is configurable from within the admin center. So if we go to the admin center, click on the stores menu button and then click in the product search, the options that will appear in that drop-down are determined based on this section called search columns. So if we wanted the user to be able to find products based on barcode in the quick add, we just need to turn the barcode field on. If we want to use the description field, then we can turn it on, and we can also change the labels. So like here, we had in that drop-down, it had alt code, but that was a label for the data that was stored in description 2. So we can change the labels to match whatever the kind of data is stored in the fields for those products. So in barcode may be a good example of where we would leave the label the same. So once we change that setting, save those settings, and then go back to and reload the page that had the product quick add form, We can see now that there are now more options available in the drop down for users to be able to find products by. So now that they may know the product codes or the barcodes of the products that you sell, and then they can then type in those codes and away they go. Here's all the different barcodes for this product that are available. And the users can also see if there is a sales rep. They can also see all the other pricing and stock availability and additional information within the product information dialog as well. So there's two new useful improvements to the product quick add area that takes the functionality from the trade interface and puts it into the content managed websites. An improvement we've added to the 11.5 TOTECS release is the ability to sort contracts within the contract listing areas on a content managed website. In the example here, I'm logged in, and if we go into the My Items section on the Master Website Design 2 website, if we then click on the contracts link, the user can see all the contracts that are assigned to their customer account. So the new improvement that we've added is the ability for them to be able to then search based on the contract code, ascending or descending, and as well as on description or expiry date. So once we click on that, then the contracts will be ordered, in this case from the contracts that expire first to last, or we can change that by clicking on the descending drop down, and now it's the opposite way around. So this will make it easier for sales reps as well as account customers to be able to see the contracts and the expiry dates and find those contracts based on the different fields that are available. Now to set this up in the administration center, if we go into the website section, click on the website menu item, in the web area format libraries, under the user account management, in the customer account contract listing area, within both the customer account contract listing format and header formats, there have been two new hooks that have been added. And these hooks are called contract records sort direction dropdown as well as contract records sort dropdown. So all we need to do is add these hooks into the formats, and then they will display within the contracts listing area to allow the users to be able to then search and filter the contracts that are displayed. And this will become very handy when there are many contracts assigned to an account that the user is logged in with. In the 11.5 release, the next improvement we've added is within the product search forms that display attribute search profiles, and an ability for the users to select only from values that are associated with products that are now active and not hidden. So in an example here, we have a product search form area that is assigned to an attribute search profile, and all these drop downs that are coming from that search profile. Now the improvement here is that the options displayed in here, these are the values assigned to the products, and only in this drop down will values show for products that are active and not hidden. In this drop down, there would have to be a product that is active and not hidden and has set the attribute with the color value in order for it to appear in this drop down. So the point here is that the user has less chance of not finding products when they want to do a refining search. And as we can see here, when we chose yellow as an option, we've only got products that are associated with the yellow ink cartridges. So if we go into the administration center and go into the search profiles, here are the product search profiles that configure how products are found when doing searches. So the one that we've got here is attribute searching. And if we go and edit that profile, under the search product attributes, we can add multiple attributes, product attributes, and the new option that we have added here when modifying one of these is to only show values assigned to active visible products. When this setting is ticked on, then when the options are displayed in the drop-down, only the values, the attribute values assigned to active products will display within the drop-down. If the product has become inactive, it will disappear from this list. Now, we've got a choice with this setting to allow still those values that are assigned to inactive products to still be displayed, or to not display them based on ticking or unticking this option here. So the reasons why you might want to still display the option is so that way in the search statistics you can see the kinds of products users are trying to search on. That can tell you where you need to reorder products that have previously become inactive. Whereas you tick this setting to be on if you wanted to make sure that the users could always find products that they are searching for based on finding active products. So this is another improvement to help users to find products quicker by being able to filter products and having more guarantees that the products they're searching for can be found. Another improvement we've added into search profiles is when a search profile is set to product, we have now the ability to search on products based on matching product data in the meta keywords field. So the meta keywords field is used in order to place keywords for products that can be then embedded in the web pages. And this data is available field if we go into the inventory editor and we find the product. The data that is set within the metadata tab under the product keywords field can now be searched on. So if we had text here such as, in this case, we're looking for a battery. If that data was set there, we can now set up in a search profile to look at that data based in that product field for when a user does a search. So if we set up a search field, we can say to search on the products, and the new improvement we've added to the platform is now the ability to set that users can search on the data set in the meta keywords fields for all products. So once again, it's another field you can put data into and then allow users to search on. The important thing to note here is that meta keywords data also appears in the web page. So if we go into view the web page source, that also appears for when a product is displayed on the page. That data will also display here. Search engines can see the keywords data in the meta fields here, and then they may use that to factor in how they rank your pages. But typically, keywords is no longer a ranking factor in popular search engines such as Google. That finishes the wrap up of the 11.5 release added into the TOTECS platform. If you want to find any more information about this release, you can go to the TOTECS.com website, and if you click on the navigation and go into the forums, scroll down to the releases forum, and then you can see all the details and release notes in the TOTECS platform release 11.5, where we go through and describe some more detail about these features. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post in the forums, and we're happy to answer your questions there. Thanks for taking the time to listen. Until next time, have a great day.